Welcome to Life Esteem, a program committed to deliver information that's important to you and your community. Your hosts are Nathaniel and Patricia Gadsden.
Hello and welcome to Life Esteem. It's always great to have you as a viewer. Hey, today we're going to talk with Dr. Hector Ortiz, I want to say, who is the district governor for Rotary International, and that's District 7390. And he was just recently installed in this wonderful celebration. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ortiz.
Good morning. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. So you are district governor of Rotary International, but you also started out with and really started the Keystone chapter of Rotary. And talk about that. Talk about both entities.
Yes, I was able to be in an organization called Harrisburg Leadership. And this is an organization that works with servant opportunities for people in the community. And I was contacted for one of the persons who were initiating this new charter of a Rotary Club, and I like the idea of Rotary. I always see the signs and always heard about what Rotary does, but I was never invited, never be involved in any way. And this friend, Jim Rogers, called me and said, we are starting a new concept, a new charter of a Rotary Club, and this is when Harrisburg Keystone comes. I become part of this charter group, and we chartered the Harrisburg Keystone Rotary Club that has a new concept with 50% women, 50% men, people of color then, young professionals. So I become excited and part of the Harrisburg Keystone Rotary Club and start knowing the work of Rotary International. It's amazing to know how much history and how much accomplishments Rotary has done in the last 108 years since Paul Harris started this wonderful organization. Can you imagine an organization of 1.2 million Rotarians, 34,000 clubs around the world, more than 200 nations, coming together from different perspectives, different beliefs, different political views, different origins, cultures, traditions, customs, unified by one concept, the concept of service, actually service about self. So that is what caught my attention and became involved, and had the opportunity to serve later as a president of the Keystone Club. Then I was offered the opportunity to serve as an assistant governor and start the process in the ladder to become district governor nominee, district governor-elect, and now the privilege to serve as a district governor of Rotary International in District 7390 that involves 46 clubs, Rotary clubs, 2,500 Rotarians in 7 counties in central Pennsylvania. So it is really a privilege because Rotary is an organization of business and community leaders. I would say the backbone of the business society and the community servant leadership is in Rotary. So it is a privilege, it's a pleasure to serve in this organization that again unify the world, creating peace, cultural and international understanding, and most importantly, service about and beyond self.
Beautiful.
Well, you know, one of the things, Hector, you said that when you started and got involved with the Keystone chapter, and to see your progression, how long ago was it that you actually started the Keystone chapter?
Well, it was very quick, actually. I think it's 9 years when we start chartering, and the club was the next year when we start as a Rotarians. We charter officially the club, and then I become president 2 years after that, and then assistant governor the following year, and then the 3 years succession plan that the district has in order to be prepared to really conduct serious businesses about service. I think in the last 3 years I has been exposed to what Rotary does as a Rotarians and as a serving organizations, to know the different programs that work nationally, locally, internationally. Myself, I has been able to participate in mission trips initiated by my own club. So anyone can have a good idea, present a project, and use the tools that we have in Rotary in order to make things possible. One of the arms that we have is the Rotary Foundation that, by the way, is just starting a new grand moral concept. Why the Rotary Foundation exists? First of all, because with those resources that we donate, most of the resources, the financial resources, come from Rotarians all around the world. As you know, in Rotary, you may find easily presidents of college, CEO of different countries, but also the leaders of the community. So the mix, the network, the connections that you can make, the service is possible because we have decision makers in any Rotary club. But also you have the servant leaders who do the work, who do day to day to see and serve those who needs the most. So the Rotary Foundation new grant model that started this year, just a couple days ago, offered the opportunity to any club in the world to offer local projects with what we call district grants and global grants to do in a national project. In partnership, most of the time we need partners, local and international, in order to succeed in what we try to do. We need collaboration. We cannot live anymore in silos. We need to work together. Even community partners are part of these projects in the different clubs. Now, any club is different. You don't have a unique system that works for everyone because any community is different. So this is the unique things of Rotary.
And one thing about it, here in Harrisburg, you have 2 clubs, right? Or is it, well, Harrisburg area, you have more than 2.
We had 5 clubs, Rotary clubs in Harrisburg.
Okay, 5 clubs. The largest, I think, is the one that meets down at, is it the Hilton Hotel?
That's correct.
Now, what's the name of that particular one?
Actually, it's the Harrisburg Club.
Harrisburg Club.
It's the one of the oldest clubs in the world. It's the 23 club in the world.
Wow.
So that is a lot of history. It's the 23 club of 34,000 clubs that you have now. So that is a lot of history. But also our district have the opportunity to have one of the biggest clubs in the world. The 35 larger club in the world is in York with 325 members.
Wow.
35 in the world. Again, any club is different and any club is unique. The average club in the world, in the whole world, is 30 members. That's the average club in the world. But we have big clubs, like in our district, the York Club, with 350 members, which is the 35 largest club in the world.
And these clubs meet weekly, is that right?
Every week we meet. And again, at the beginning, when I was invited, now that you refresh my memory, the first thing that many professionals do is weekly basis. I don't have time for weekly basis meetings. But when you come to Rotary, and just yesterday in a meeting, a couple of friends that I invite as a guest said, I like to be in service. I like to help others. And this is what you guys do. So they are not concerned anymore about the weekly meetings. Yes, you have some requirements about attendance because we expect that you become part of. But when you become not just a member of Rotary, but a Rotarian, you really become engaged, involved, and really live like any other day, the opportunity to meet and to do good friends, to go with the trust that you have generated in this fellowship of Rotarians. When we exercise the 4-way test, for instance, that is our emblematic tool that we use, most of Rotarians use, if not all Rotarians use, in conducting their businesses. The 4-way test that I speak about truth, about service to all, to be fair to all, to be beneficial to all, and to create something that is, again, another emblematic sign of Rotary International, goodwill and better friendships.
Beautiful.
Well, you know, Hector, one of the things, too, that happened in your installation, it was brought out, is that you were probably the first Hispanic district governor in this particular Rotary International district governor of your particular, which
District
one?
7390?
7390?
Yes, he's the first person of color, actually.
Color.
Not just Latino Hispanic, the first person of color to serve in District 7390 and in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
At least in Pennsylvania, he's the first person of color. So this is really a challenge for me, but also an opportunity, because I would like to be able to open doors to other young professionals, to open doors to other Latino, Hispanic, African Americans, Asian Indians, who can also live and exercise the privilege of being a Rotarian, to serve your local communities and the world. So I really feel that as an opportunity in order to create bridges, to open doors, to be sure that we can live and exercise this privilege, that at the end, when you give, you receive.
Okay.
And believe me, in Rotary, you give something, but you receive even more. Not in the same way. If you write a check, maybe you don't receive the check back, but you receive something, and I know, Pat and Nate, that you really believe in the life is not just materialistic things.
Yes.
It's the whole component of the other factors, emotional intelligence, a spiritual counterpart, that create this uniqueness of life and create happiness and creates opportunities and creates meaning to life and purpose to our life objectives.
Dr. Ortiz, you know, since you've been in Central Pennsylvania, you've just been on fire, doing a lot of great things. Talk about also you created the Culture
Diversity Network Forum.
Dauphin County Diversity Network Forum. We can just go on and on. I mean, you were involved in so many different things. What drives you? Because you're originally from
Ecuador.
Ecuador, okay. And you came to this country 12 years ago?
12 years ago,
Okay,
that's correct.
Great. All right, and you just hit the ground running. So, you know, what kind of drives you? Servant leadership is, you know,
And
that's
you didn't
fantastic.
even speak English when you came to this country.
Yes,
Is that
that's
right?
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, actually, I came because I was offered the opportunity to come to this country as an immigrant from Ecuador.
Okay.
I came as a resident, so I came here with the opportunity to explore with my family what we can get.
Okay.
But when I came to Harrisburg and Pat, I saw a lot of need. So my concept of that the wealthiest country of the world is leaving everybody the dream was not true.
That's right.
When I see many immigrants, refugees, people in poverty, independently of the color, that need so much, and sometimes not even just materialistic things, but they need other things that are so valuable,
Absolutely.
like a hug, like a good morning, something simple that I was able to do. I become involved in the community. And right away, I decide to learn the language, become knowledgeable about the culture, because you have to know the culture, so we can share our values and see how we can fit in this new country, new town, new city, new state. And my family and I were able to feed and to start becoming involved in the community right away. I guess it was 3 months when we start our first organizations in conjunction with others who were here before, Estamos Unidos de Pennsylvania. And with Estamos Unidos, the idea was to share the good things that people bring with them, the culture, the traditions, the sharing, the share of the life gift that we have. And then when we see that Latinos is not all part of the community, that you have other components like African Americans and Asians, then we talk about another level, diversity. And this when the Dauphin County Human Services was able to follow that idea that I have in my mind and create these diversity forums, and they support the Dauphin County Commissioners immediately the opportunity to create this forum that has been exist for 6-7 years now.
But both of those organizations still exist.
Yes.
They're still very vibrant in the community. And also you're involved in another organization, which is both of you are, in fact, the
Hispanic
Hispanic
Center.
Center.
Hispanic,
Yes.
LHAC.
That was again a momentum. You know, when I came to this country, I started creating these organizations. Then, unfortunately, the Almond Pleasant Hispanic Center failed. Something happened, leadership, the funds were not there. It doesn't matter what happened in the past, but the idea is that was not anymore.
That's right.
And we have to wait for 3-4 years until we said we need a center, and we have a group of people coming together again. I was there just as a soldier and said I'm going to be join hands and let's do something, because I was really involved in many other organizations.
Yes.
But I have the opportunity again to take the lead and charter the new Hispanic Center, and now it's a vibrant organization serving the community, doing many meaningful activities in social services, in helping others to succeed and follow the dreams and connect with the services that we have in the community. So the Hispanic Center was, yes, another opportunity that I have the privilege to serve as a charter president, and then we have other young professionals coming and leading the organization that, again, like you said, is vibrant organization in the community and is part of what we call the essence of the community in serving others.
What's
Well,
amazing? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask the question Nate had asked Hector, based on everything you shared with us thus far. What drives you? I mean, you have, as I said, for someone that has truly embraced so many opportunities and really wanting to help the community at large become more, to serve, to be available in so many ways. So what was it? I mean, what did you bring from Ecuador, okay, in regard to when you came into the country? And what brought you to Harrisburg specifically? You came to Ecuador, but Harrisburg in itself. What was that all about? What did you really have with you? Because you wrote a book now. You wrote a book too. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
And which was an excellent book, a self-help book to give people, I think, the drive that you have, and talk about that.
Well, first of all, when I came to Harrisburg, when I had the opportunity to immigrate, I had a meeting with the consul of United States in Ecuador.
Okay.
And he gave me an advice. He said, if you want to succeed in America, you have to learn the language as soon as you can. And I followed that advice. First, he said, don't go with the communities like Latinos goes, because you are not going to be seeing the need to do that immediately.
Yes,
And that he was true. So I decided to come to Pennsylvania when the Latino community has been growing now very fast,
Yes,
but
very
at that
fast.
time was a little slow. I had the opportunity and was forced to learn the language. But other very good thing that I did is that I get advice from Yolanda Perez, an icon in the community in this area. And she was a professor and a counselor in Harrisburg Community College. And she also told me, in order to succeed, you have to learn the language, but not just the language that you use in the street. You have to use the formal language that you need in order to professionally advance. So it's just mentors, it's people that gave me something. Now I feel committed to give something back, because people advise you. They don't give you a check. They don't give you, financial or material resources. They give you advice. They give you a hand. And that is all that many people need in order to succeed. I think, and I had expressed many times, that when you give something to somebody else, be sure that you give something that can make them grow.
That's right.
Because all of us have our own talents.
That's right.
Just we need somebody else who believes and give you a hand, give you hope, give you opportunities.
Absolutely.
And this is what we did since the beginning. So I was able to go to college. Actually, I went to Harrisburg Community College when I serve now as a trustee. So can you imagine that? I went as a student a couple of years ago, and then were offered the opportunity to serve and be a voice for the Latino, Hispanics, and minorities and people of color. To have the opportunity in a community college that offers the opportunities. 40% of the people who attend Harrisburg Community College are first-time college students.
That's right.
So people in poverty, people of color, people who otherwise become part of what we call the underserved communities, unrepresented communities, are able because they had community college in our towns. So anything, in my view, is connected. You open one door and many others open for you.
That's right.
That's right.
So you can open even more for others.
Amen.
That
Good
is
stuff.
wonderful.
Yes,
Now
indeed.
talk about your book. What's the name of your book?
The Creative Energy of Positive Thinking. I think this book was a recollection of the talks that I get my first year here in the States. Again, I can recognize that this book came as my experiences in this America, that I am become an American citizen now, proudly part of this community, of this country that hosted us and receive us. But we are, as a Latin Americans, we are unique. We cannot forget where we come from. We have our past. We have the country that of origin when we come from, and we recognize and we value and we thank you for that. But also we thank you the life that we are living now and the opportunities that we have now. So positive thinking came as an opportunity to help others to live really the life that we have. Many people waste so much time, when life is just a short-term goal.
Absolutely, yes.
It's limited. So when people in the serving community say, well, I don't have resources to give, I cannot write a check, I never reject or never complain. Because if they are able to give time, which is something, in my view, with all respect to others, more valuable than anything.
Amen.
Because money you can give today and you can recover tomorrow, right?
That's right.
You can receive today and you can get tomorrow. But time, when you give, you never get back, because your time is market. It has a beginning and has an end.
Right.
So when you give time and really value, appreciate, and thankful. I am thankful for that, because this is something that you will never recover.
Okay.
So time is fundamental when you're serving others.
Absolutely.
Well, another thing that I noticed, you jump starting, got moving, that you don't do this in a vacuum, okay, by just yourself. You have your lovely, wonderful wife, Marisol, and she has been with you every step of the way. Talk about Marisol and how she's been a benefit. Because another thing you do, you hadn't talked about, you started through your organization, this wonderful Christmas celebration. And Marisol kind of takes a lead with this.
Yes, Marisol is wonderful. She is my wife, my lovely wife, and my children's. And one of the legacy that we can give, I mentioned the other day, many people worry, it's okay to be successful, it's okay to be wealthy, but you cannot replace to be a rich man, to replace that to having a rich life.
That's right.
So you have to choose.
That's right.
You prefer to be, I may not be a rich man, but I am sure that I will have a rich life.
Wow.
But in order to have a rich life, you have to have all what around you. And the first one in contact is your family, your significant other, your children, your people who belong to that family group. But also the group of people who become your family, the friends, the neighbors, the people who are around you serving, helping, part of your community. And this is something that I appreciate from Rotary, because the fellowship, the friendship that you get, the trust for friendship. When we may disagree, we have disagreed many times.
Sure.
And that's okay, as long as you respect, when you celebrate others, celebrate diversity, and you can just go ahead because you trust. And that is something that people can learn, because this is something that we have to address in this community. And actually, Rotary International and the World Affairs Council of Harrisburg is going to be doing a peace symposium. Because conflict and violence is something that has to be addressed. There is no way, there is no reason to exist. And we are going to be having, in September, I guess, September 7, a peace symposium so we can analyze, Rotary International and the World Affairs Council, how we can, as an individuals, because this is the problem, that we usually leave this for others. We said, oh, this is an issue in the national and others has to resolve that.
Right.
We have shootings in the United States, we have people going to college, to theaters, and shooting people and killing people, and this is for others. What is for us? Why we don't act as an individuals and be part of the solutions instead part of the problem? So this is the idea of this symposium. What I can do, what you can do as an individuals, locally, nationally, and nationally, to start creating this new concept of peace.
That's fantastic.
I love it.
You know, you mentioned Rotary International, and again, congratulations on becoming the district governor. So someone's listening to this program that said, I'm interested in Rotary. I had never considered it before. What is the process of becoming a Rotarian?
Well, we have in District 7390, which is our local community, 7 counties, the opportunity to go to many Rotary clubs. We meet every day. So you have clubs that meet on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. You have clubs that meet in the morning, at noon, evening, or after hours like us, 5:30 p.m. So there is no excuse, because you can select one of the clubs that fits your calendar, fits your schedule, and you can become a Rotarian.
Okay.
The opportunity to join depends on what is your willingness to relate to the different individuals who are part of Rotary. So if you are a morning person, the breakfast club maybe is an opportunity. Here in Harrisburg, we have the Susquehanna Club that meet on Thursday. You have the Harrisburg Keystone Club that meet on Tuesday evening. And we have the Harrisburg Club that meets on Mondays for lunch. Or we have Colonial Park that meets on Wednesday for lunch. So you have a diversity just in this town. But also you go to Lancaster or to York or to Perry County or Lebanon, you have Gettysburg, you have the opportunity to enjoy the Rotary clubs, friendship and fellowship that we have. So we have different ways, different days, different times, and also different opportunities that Rotary offers to all of us. So it's open. You can go and just Google or go to Rotary district7390.org, and you can have all the clubs that we have in the district. You can have all the days and the places that they meet. And you are more than happy to go to the website and just send an email or send a message in one of the social media outlets that we have. And we're more than happy to ask somebody to respond and invite and be my guest. I will more than happy to be part of this and invite and be guest of one of the persons who are interested. Rotary.7390.org. And this is all that you need. Just show your interest, and you may have an opportunity to really change your life.
Fantastic. I think we ought to also mention that you do have another life too, and that you do work for, you work for the state?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your title?
Well, one of the connections that I see from Rotary National, I am here as an individual, not as a representative of the state, but yes, I have the opportunity to serve as a director of the Office of Health Equity.
Okay.
And when we talk about health equity, we talk about healthcare and public health. And when we talk about public health, we talk about global health as well.
Yeah.
Right? We, for instance, have refugees coming to our state every year, and we take care of that. You know, we had a program that do some basic screenings for them. But the idea that I mentioned, the public health, is because Rotary International has one of the commitments that has been for 25 years now, which is eradicate polio. Okay. One of the public health issues that has destroyed hundreds of thousands of lives in the last 25 to 30 years. And it's very, very close to eradicate one of the, I guess it's the second worldwide disease that can be eradicated after smallpox. And this is the polio.
Oh, yeah.
And we have just few cases now in 3 endemic countries, which is Pakistan, Nigeria, and Afghanistan.
Okay.
And we have been committed to really eradicate, because polio is a virus. If we don't eradicate, can be again outbreak and come again and attack. And this is sad when you see a person at this time with this technology, with the resources that we have, that people can be condemned to, you know, knock on the door, on the floor, because they just don't receive a vaccine. A vaccine that costs 60 cents of dollar. So I was able to attend in the National Convention in Lisbon a couple of weeks ago. And one of the ideas that they brought is that we need just to remember this 2-1-1-1. 2 drops of vaccine under 1 minute, under $1 can save 1 life.
I like that.
That's powerful.
2-1-1-1. And I like that concept. It's under $1. And you just need 2 drugs of vaccine, and you can be cured and you can be protected. The only reason that we have not done is because there is some political issues in many countries, and we were not able to go and vaccinate. So we need to be committed, and we need some resources. I guess this is estimated that in the next 5 years, we had a plan to completely eradicate polio. So we need some resources, and we need some commitment from Rotary and from philanthropies around the world, including the CDC in the United States, including the World Health Organization, and many other partners that have come together to really eliminate. And in order to eliminate, to eradicate polio, you have to have at least 3 years that you don't have any case in any country, so you can completely eradicate that.
You know, it's amazing. We've run out of time. I can sit and listen to you.
I know
First
it.
off, I hope that you consider being a pastor one day, because I think you would be a tremendous pastor. You really, really, you know, do a tremendous work, and congratulations
Yes, indeed.
for all that you've done. Not just the, you know, being the new district, you know, director, governor, but being just the person that you are. And so thank you so much for all your hard work. I can continue to do it. We're going to get you back on the show again to talk to you about some other things. I want to thank you so much for watching Life Esteem. Hope that you have yourself a blessed day. Get on fire like Dr. Hector Ortiz.
Yes.
See you next time. Goodbye.